Welcome to the Original Fighter's Voice. I'm your host, Don Mcguire. I love this dude, man. I met him in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Tremendous young man. Welcome to Savage Cub Hawkins. How you doing, brother?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Man, it's a pleasure. One thing I want to dip into a little bit, and I admire about you. I've seen you in Rock Hill. I like your style. I've seen tapes of you before. You're quite a quiet fighter. You're one of the fighters that remind me of when I came up 40 years ago in the sport of boxing. You like to stay away from everybody. You like to keep to yourself. You don't talk crap. What is it about Cub Hawkins that has you isolate yourself from the world come fight night?
Um, yeah, before my fights, I like to just either like sit in the back or even sit in the stands and just watch the fights and just chill by myself. Um, I do like to talk a little crap here and there, like on the mic. But besides that, I've always been that quiet athlete, like growing up. I'm just a quiet person in general, to be honest. Uh, I don't know. I was never that kid that listened to that heavy music, banging his head before he went out on the football field, anything like that. I was just, I don't know, calm and collected. Uh, I just felt like I performed a little bit better when I was more, well put together and just zoned in more so. So
Yeah,
I stay like that.
I dig that, bro. The only thing I'm mad about, homie, is how come you didn't tell me I look great like you did Aaron Tohill?
My
I'm
bad,
just
man.
messing. You good, bro? Hey, I'm gonna go now that we got you on the show. I'm gonna go ahead and play this intro, and then we should be right on key.
BYB
Sounds good.
Bare Knuckle returns January 18th to the Charles F. Dodge Center in Pembroke Pines, Florida for Ball in the Pines 2. Featuring 3 world title fights, including the third and final match in the 3-continent trilogy between Marco Martignac and Jerome Hatch. And the Savage Cub Hawkins gets his first shot at gold when he takes on BKB's Daniel Lerwell for the Police Gazette belt at 185 pounds. And the return of backyard original White Boy Rene Rodriguez, Jordan Fuentes, and more. Visit bybtickets.com/pines for tickets and information.
Man, that's gonna be one heck of an event. Here, let me get these comments up here. Like I told you, I'm old, a little senile, so I don't get everything up there on time. A brother of mine out of Canada, they call him Little Holmes, Paul Driscoll, says, "Hello, Don and Champion Cub." He calls us both gentlemen. Uh, Brian Holderson, another person, my brother out of Canada, he says, "Evening, all. Good evening, sir." Cub, I love your style, bro. I love what you bring to the Trigon. Even though you fought in both aspects of the sport, take me, before we get into bare knuckle, take me, what was it like to be under the tutelage of Jake Clip and those people on that walk?
Uh, yeah, Jay Clip, he's in Milwaukee, um, and they have a nice gym out there, Pure Vita. Um, Bunch of great guys in there. Everybody's, trying to make everybody better, and that's what it's all about. And then me being in Madison at Capital City BJJ under Mark Lemminger, Kane, Rizzo,
Yeah.
um, some more dogs. You got all the talent in the world there, and everyone is a great teammate. Everyone is there to either get better or make someone else better, and that's why I think I have all the confidence coming into every single fight, and I walk the walk and talk the talk. So
Yeah.
um, I got to thank them. That's where it all comes from.
Yeah, well, we got to thank everybody that helps pick us up.
Yeah.
What was it like in the early days? And some of my listeners probably are tired of this rhetorical question, but everybody's different, so I think it's a great question to ask. Now that you look back at a young cub, what was it like? What does it feel like now, knowing that you laid that stone, you created this path? now you're set to fight for the Police Gazette World Diamond Belt at 185 against Daniel Lerwell. What does it feel like, bro? Because you've been through hell and back. What does
Yeah.
this moment really mean to you going into January 18th in Pembroke Pines?
Getting that belt would like solidify all the hard work that I put in. My dream, to be honest, my dream wasn't to be a fighter. I always wanted to be, I always wanted to work with animals. It doesn't matter, a vet, a zoo, it didn't matter. I've always wanted to work with animals, and I honestly didn't know like what I was gonna do coming out of high school exactly, where to go. So I just got into fighting and more so just training, and I had a natural act for it. Loved it. And even when I was like, okay, this is something I can excel at. This is something I'm good at. I was still thinking like I still want to work with those animals. Like I never really thought I'd be where I'm at now, and uh, I appreciate it all. It's a great journey. I've pushed myself so hard. So to bring that title back to Chicago, and nobody has ever brought a bare knuckle title back to Chicago ever
Yeah.
in the sport. And no one has ever brought a title back to a Wisconsin gym. So to be able to do that and be the first person to do that, that means everything. Put my city on the map, my gym on the map, and that's what that's my goal. To bring that back for everyone that came with me, watched me come up, and so this is for them, not for me.
I love that, bro. Yeah, I love the humility, and that my my brother John Grady, he's a tremendous man. He says, Mr. Hawkins, mindset reminds me of the samurai belief that greatest warriors have to have a calm mind. It leads to optimal performance. And he says, good luck, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, John, if you've seen this young man in real life, he truly does walk with that mindset. I had the pleasure of getting picked up at the airport with Mr. Hawkins in the limo bus, and we had a conversation, and I instantly correlated with you when I got on the bus. And I don't talk to anybody, but
Mhm.
you were calm, chill, and I was kind of feeling out of place, and you made me feel right at home. Then we walked into Rock Hill, South Carolina. You had a young fighter, Trevor Ollison. They call him the Man Blackie Chan. Running at the mouth, saying all he could. You remained calm. You remained humble. You destroyed the man in round one. You know, what do those moments mean? Because that's another notch in like John says, a samurai. I'd be another notch in your sheath, another step in your walk. What do nights like that truly mean to the Savage Cub Hawkins?
To me, and my last fight actually had my best friend that from my hometown of Wilmington, and he was in my corner. He's never fought before, never been in that situation before, and I was like, okay, I wanted him to uh, be with me in that moment, and him being there, me winning the way I did in the first round, that meant everything to me because I was able to, share that with my best friend, um, and that's, I mean, everything that I've done like that. Uh, it just all comes back to like being able to share that for someone else too. Like, I don't know, I'm really thoughtful when it comes to that stuff. I appreciate a lot, and it's like I gotta have more. It's like I'm addicted to it, and I feel like I don't really get the respect that I should. Uh, I feel kind of slept on in this game, uh, and with that mindset, I just keep doing the same thing. I've had three first round knockouts, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna make
Yeah.
everyone respect me. That's my goal.
And I love that about you, bro. I truly do, because you're fighting somebody from across the pond. and they crave and they say, oh, well, bare knuckle this isn't the new era of bare knuckle. It's always been over here. This is an opportunity for you, like you said, to bring it back to Chicago, to bring it back to, well, bring it back to the United States. This is a world title, and so you go over there and show that Brit what's up, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I got a lot of British friends, but I'm not too fond of some things over there. I think they try to take credit for everything, but you had a tremendous mentor on your walk, and I hope you don't mind me taking the show here, and because I believe it built you, because he was there from the beginning with you, and that was Mr. Herc Hayes. You had made a comment. He was there from the beginning with me in Chicago. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for Herc Hayes. You know, is this fight dedicated? Is this fight for Herc?
It has to be. He has been the best coach for everyone in the Chicago area. And people outside the Chicago area that has like ran past him on their way up. I think every fighter that comes out of Chicago that's fighting in 2024 is dedicating their next fight to him. Like, I have to dedicate this fight to him. He's been in my corner once, and he's given some great advice. He's wrapped my hands, one of the best hand wrappers in Chicago, this one's for him, and rest in peace to him, and hope all is well for his family. But yeah, this one kind of means a little bit more.
Yeah. I feel a little sorry for Daniel there because, when we put, a meaning on something, we tend to go a little bit harder. And I know he sat in your heart, God rest his soul. Brother, I remember seeing a statement that you made. You said, I don't care if it's at 70, 80, or 85. Just give me a shot at gold. What does this shot at gold truly, truly mean to you? Let's say you're sitting back and you just think about it. Where does it sit in your heart? How does it make you feel?
I would have to say more so like it makes me feel like all the hard work that I put in is going to pay off. Like, this is what I have been doing this for my whole entire life. Like, even to just be in that spot, fighting for the title. Like, this is my spot. This is my time to complete all these accolades that I can, that are up like for me, and to walk out there, represent where I'm from, and then do whatever I want to do. And that's honestly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tell you something. I think it's a 6-round fight. When the 5th round ends and Daniel, if it does make it that far, 5th round ends, Daniel's going to sit down in that chair, and I'm not. I'm going to pace that ring, and I'm going to scream at him. And I'm going to let him know that I'm here. I'm ready to die. I'm ready for it. Like, I'm better than you. And I'm going to tell him that, right? I'm going to say so much that the ref has to come over and stop me. Like, chill. Because no one's going to take this spot away from me. Like, this is my time to shine, and I can't let anybody take that from me.
So, you can't let anybody take what you earned, bro. You earned it. Back to back to back knockouts. And the last one, if anybody hasn't seen what he did to Blackie Chan, go on YouTube, go on the BYB page on Facebook or Instagram or anyone, and just look at the devastation that this young man brings in the ring. I ask everybody this because I want to get everybody's thoughts. When I first stepped into the Trigon, I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, it's bigger than I thought. But then when I stepped in there, that thing's tiny. What was it like for you, the first fight in the Trigon? What did it feel like? I mean, because you take 2 steps back, you're in a corner. You're up against the rope, bro. What was it like?
I actually didn't have a problem fighting in that ring. I don't think I've ever had a problem where I got stuck in a corner. My movement is really, I would say, it's pretty good. Being in that small ring like that, and like I guess I won't have that bad experience until like I'm stuck somewhere. But until then, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and that's just creating that space and just knowing like how far you are. I pay attention to the little things like that. Like I got in the corner one time in my first fight against Ali, and right when I got in that corner, I knew like, okay, this is not where I want to be, and got myself right out of there instantly, no problem. Didn't have a no thought of, okay, I'm in trouble. I just
Yeah,
knew like, okay, I knew my surroundings, I knew where I was at, and I accomplished what I did. But I love that ring. Yeah, it's nice.
yeah. Man, I'm impressed with you because I tell you, it's like, and I told everybody on the last show. I mean, there's some fights that really in bare knuckle that really captured the essence of what I feel about the sport. But now, man, I mean, I was a fan of bare knuckle, but now I'm engulfed in it, because after your fight and then what happened in Denver, it just seems like BYB has just stepped the bar and set the bar so high with bringing in fighters like you, Gigliotti, and Tommy Turner. I mean, all of you are young warriors that are coming up. What does it mean for people like Mike Vasquez, you know, to give you an opportunity because you're from a state that most fighters don't really get a lot of opportunities.
No, yeah, and I appreciate Mel bringing because uh, I think I contacted Mel. Mel got back to me right away because right when I saw that bare knuckle, I was all for it. I was like, this is something I can really be good at, and so for them to give me that shot, like I really hope that they are like, damn, like I'm very glad I did that because I show up, I do what I have to do, and yeah, so I hope they really appreciate uh, that I'm in there, and because I appreciate them bringing me on for real.
Yeah.
So
It's a tremendous promotion. I've never worked for people that I've liked so much. They take such good care of everybody. It's actually amazing. I told Mike, I said, in the 40 years I've been in the sport, I think you're the only promoter I've ever liked, and I really meant it. And I still mean it
yeah,
to this day. When I had the Red Queen, Jamie Driver, on the other day, she said, "You don't really feel a punch until after the fight." How is that in the essence of Cub Hawkins?
I and actually so far out of like maybe like I would have to say at least 75 punches thrown at me. I've only been hit flush one time. I took an uppercut in my last fight that hit me in the top of the chin or the under uppercut. And in the fight, I did not feel it whatsoever. I knew I got hit. I walked out of the ring. I was good. But the next day, that's when I felt it. I like my jaw was hurting a little bit, and I was like, damn, like that. Yeah, you do feel it after the next day. But yeah, in there, you don't feel it. I haven't been hit with too many, you know, knock on wood. But yeah, after the fight, you do feel it. Even your
Yeah,
hands.
yeah. Well, I seen that with Julio Tenori. When I had to get Irwin into the ambulance, and then I dealt with Julio Tenori. It's like I seen his hands, and they look like sausages, bro. And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's gotta hurt. But Driver said, like you, I didn't feel it that night, but I couldn't eat for a week. Were
yeah.
you in the same scenario?
I didn't get hit that hard, but like I did feel it the next day, and I was like, okay, like there's gonna be some fight that I'm just beat up, and I'm gonna regret like all that. So uh, yeah, I do feel it here and there, but not too bad, not yet.
What does it mean for a young Cub Hawkins not only to represent her case, but to represent the United States against the UK for the world title. I mean, this is two continents, three
Yep.
title fights on one card. One of the biggest cards so far of of 2024 for BYB. What does it mean for you, your family, for your walk to represent the United States against the UK?
And man, when I started fighting, it was, you know, just a local thing. And it was like my town, their town, things like that. And now it's like I'm at a stage where it is two continents. And now everybody that's, all USA, because it's here, it's on this land.
Yeah.
So whether you're a fan of me, not a fan of me, you got to cheer for me. I'm here. Like this is what I'm representing. So I think that's a cool opportunity that I'm gonna have, having everybody cheer for me. Yeah, whether or not that you're a fan of me, you got to cheer for me. I'm fighting a Brit, so it's us against them, and we're gonna come out on top. So it's a huge opportunity, and I love it. I love that I'm in this position. So
I love it too, bro. I think it's a great opportunity for you. And you say people's names in their ears ringing. So I wanna wish Tommy Turner, a great thank you for coming on. And he's a tremendous young warrior too, like you. I think BYB has just created a mold from the beginning to now, and it's finally paying off because, and they're signing you guys to 4 fight deals, and now look at world titles. But what I see is predominantly young boxing talent. But with you, you're a mix. You know, I got to ask a question because I really want to know. I know you love bare knuckle, but okay, let's say, Cubb, you win the world title, and then they offer you an opportunity to go to MMA and fight a regular fight. Are you staying in bare knuckle? Where are you going? What's the future after this fight?
the
Say you
future after
win.
this fight, let's say I win. Um, it's at 85, and it's for a national or the international title.
Yeah.
I want to, if I can get on the March card and fight for the 85 BYB belt, sign me up. I want to treat this as if like it's like a college or a high school. Like this is my freshman year. I need two belts to graduate. Then I'm gonna go
Yeah.
down to 75 my sophomore year and grab those two belts, and then try to go down to 65. And it's my junior year now. And when I make it to 60, that's my senior year. Like that, and I need two belts to graduate. And I'm not gonna like that's how I'm looking at it. And those last two fights, so we got Sam Liera and LT Nelson. And I think those are the best two fighters that I will face. Uh, and so I'm gonna give them respect. But the one thing that I hate is seeing, yeah, it's like a respect thing. How everybody can be buddy buddy with each other. Me and you can fight, and they're like, there's no way that if I'm fighting you, there's no way that I'm kicking it with you the day before.
Yeah.
I can't be buddy, like we are not friends. And I see it so much, and it boils my blood. Uh, I don't understand it. So
Well, it was that way for LT smashing his last opponent, Sam
yeah,
Larry. I mean,
and I seen that, and I don't understand how they can do it. Like, there's no way that me and you can be friends because you're trying to beat me up and hurt me in front of my friends and family and everyone that supports me. So for me, there is no respect until after the fight, um, because I'm there to hurt you in front of your friends and family. So
yeah.
I can't sit there and share a bag of gummy worms with you the day before and chill and talk to you at the weigh-in. Like that's not me. That's not happening. That's fake. And that's what everybody is doing. How everybody can sit there and talk to their opponent and be friends with them and then go out there. I can't do that. I can't do it. You'll never see me do it. Never.
I love that. I like my brother, Little Holmes. He says, just like Hagler. Hagler was that way. He after the fight, hey, it's anything, but before the fight,
Yeah.
and and honestly, Pete, whoever's listening, you really got to understand this man really does. Even at the ceremonial weigh-ins, the regular, he stays away from everybody. It's just like, and I love that about you, because you're not there to make friends. You're there
Absolutely
to,
not. I'm there to beat you up. I'm there to do what I have to do and leave. Like I'm not there to make friends. If and Another way that I look at it is if I'll make friends with Julio Tenoris and Mark the Shark because I'll never fight. I'll never be able to get down to their weight and fight them.
yeah,
Like I'm not gonna fight. I'm not fighting heavyweight. So yeah, I'll talk to the heavyweight champ. Of course, I'm gonna sit there and get pointers from them because I can't fight you. There's I can make those type of friends. But if you're in my weight class from 85 to 60, I'm not talking. I'm not your friend. I'm At some point I hope I can beat you up. Like that's my goal. So yeah, man.
so you and LT ain't gonna be talking for a minute, bro.
Absolutely not. Me, LT, Sam Liera, man, I hate Jose Fernandez. I have a strong hate for him. I cannot stand him. I I cannot wait to get my hands on. And I told him, hey, I'm free in March. We were already like going at it a couple days ago. I called him out my second fight, and I actually told him after my second fight, I called him out. We shared some words or whatever,
Yeah,
and I told him, you know what? I won't be able to fight you because there's no way that you're gonna make it past Sam Liera. Sam Liera is gonna finish you,
yeah,
and you won't have that belt. And if you don't have the belt, then I'm not fighting you because I think he's a fraud. He fought JD Burns, and JD Burns is a bum. Uh, he was gifted. Jose was gifted that belt. Fought JD. JD was not there. Not He was not a title fighter. He shouldn't have been
yeah.
there. But whatever, that happened. Jose ended up with the belt. Okay, cool. I told you he wasn't going to make it. I told him. I got the receipts. I told Jose he was not going to make it past Sam. Second round comes. Second or third round comes. He didn't get off the bench. He didn't deserve that belt to begin with. And I
Yeah.
told him that. I said you were a fraud. And I will give him that shot at 75 if he wants to take it. I'm free in March. Yeah, I want that belt at 85, but I know Chad Kelly and Zion Williams or whatever his last name is, they want to Mel wants them to fight or whatever before they get that title for the BYB belt. And honestly, I think Chad Kelly is going to be my hardest fight at 85. I don't think Zion is anywhere near. Zion just lost to somebody that I fought at 205 and beat the guy that he just lost to. And I did that with a broken hand in the first round. And we fought all 3 rounds in MMA, and I beat him. I don't think Zion is mentally there. I think he's mentally weak, and I think Chad Kelly is the best opponent for me. Um, and I think that's a fight that everybody wants to see. And he already accepted it because I called him out before. He was down, I was down. They didn't book the fight, but I hope they do in March. I really hope they just set that Zion and Chad because they fought once before and whatever happened, no one got their hand raised, whatever. But I really want to fight Chad in March.
Well, I think that's a great fight because Chad Kelly fought. I used to I manage him, but Anthony Holmes, he fought the first time for the Intercontinental title, the first BYB BKB title, and it went to a draw. I mean, the dude can bang. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. He can straight bang. But I don't want to overlook, Daniel Lerwell. Pretend I'm Daniel, bro, and you're standing right in front of me, and it's the day of weigh-ins. What would you say to me? What would you tell me?
That you don't have what it takes to beat me. I sat there and watched all of his fights. He is that type of fighter to just plant his feet and bar swing. I'm not that type of person that is gonna sit there and stand face to face with you and just hope for the best. I'm gonna be moving around, and I don't think he's there. His footwork, his the boxing skills, that's not there. He is overhand and bar swinging.
Yeah.
I'm not dumb. You think I'm gonna just sit there and play that game? No, I'm gonna stick and move, and I don't think you're there, and I'm gonna beat you sticking and moving,
Just like
and
you
that's
did
my game
Blackie
plan.
Chan. Yeah, just like you did Blackie Chan. That was tremendous. My brother's got a question. I'm gonna ask you real quick because I know
Yep.
you're in all genres of the sport. John Grady says wrestling is the toughest sport in his opinion. He said, "How was your wrestling background? How has your wrestling background influenced your development as a fighter?"
Everything that I've done in wrestling, like getting ready for a tournament, a state title, things like that. Um, I've carried on. I brought all that with me, and uh, just the mentality that this is a one-on-one, who's better, who wants it more. Like this is nitty gritty, um, and I have to show up. Like I can't. This is not a team sport, so I gotta be on my top notch. So
Yeah.
all that, like in high school, uh, my coaches were hardcore. My Robert Murphy, he was in the Olympics. He I think he took a bronze medal in the Olympics. Um, and mentally weak is what they called me all 4 years. And not that I was mentally weak, but I think they bullied me to a point where like it just to help me. Like that was my motivation was, oh, you're mentally weak. Like, get physical. Like they always said, get physical. You're mentally weak. And I brought that with me. Like I'm from the Midwest. This is I'm corn fed. Like this is hard nose. I gotta hurt you. Like I'm not gonna leave this place until I hurt you and I once you break them mentally, the rest is easy. Once you've wrestled, everything in life is easy, and that's how I look at it. And like that, I think that's where all my success like has come from is just beating everybody in wrestling. Because I've been wrestling since I was 4,
Yeah.
and uh, I've learned so much, and this is boxing. Yeah, I know, but that same wrestling mentality is everything that I bring into boxing.
Oh, I get it, bro. I mean, you check if you look at Matt Hughes. Everybody was talking about Hoist Gracie, Hoist Gracie. Matt Hughes came in, destroyed Hoist Gracie, became the Gracie killer. But he wouldn't have done that without a wrestling foundation and base.
Yeah,
See, a lot of people say, "Oh, jujitsu, man." I helped bring jujitsu to this country, and that's the honest to God's truth. Back in the early '80s, so I've always been a fan and of wrestling, but the ethics of wrestling. They mold the individual, whatever path they take after wrestling. I mean, wrestling is not for the weak at heart. It's not. I
not at
mean,
all.
and people just don't get it. You know, I've had many on my show, many wrestlers that were under Dan Gable, and they talk about he was the only true mentor or one of the few mentors that truly pushed them and allowed them to move forward in life. Would you say that your wrestling coach played a predominant role in the creation of Cub Hawkins?
Oh, easily, easily. They were on me. My wrestling coach in high school was on me before I even got into high school. Uh, they were hard on me before I even got there, and they're still hard on me now when I'm back home, and they're still giving me hey, you need to do this, or like they're always pushing me, and I'm so glad that I was able to cross paths in my life with them, because I think whatever the kid they molded is still intact and is still doing exactly what they told me to do. And now I'm in a sport where all that is helping me. It's not like I'm playing tennis or playing
Yeah.
basketball. Like that, the hard nose beat them until they give up. Like that is the sport now. And I have to thank them so much for that. So
What would you like to say to the fans of bare knuckle, the people they're going to converge on Pembroke Pines in Florida on January 18th? What would you like to say to them for believing in you, coming to see you? I mean, man, you put on a hell of a show, but what would you like to say to the new people that are coming to the walk of Cub Hawkins? Because a lot of people don't understand. You could be a great fighter and not have a fan base. I remember when Conor McGregor came, and I told him he was one of the most disrespectful fighters, but you look at him now, I still think he's one of the most disrespectful fighters, but he's built a brand, he's built a name behind himself. And you've done that, my friend. You've you've come up, you shelled out, you showed out. What does it feel to have these people now following the walk and appreciating the walk of Cub Hawkins?
I appreciate it more than anything. I thank everybody that comes out every single time. I don't get to fight at home too often in the Midwest. It's always down south, and everybody makes me feel like I'm home because I put on a show. I'm there to make sure they get their money's worth, and then thank them at the end because it would be pretty boring if we just fought and there was no one in the stands. So I have to thank them for coming out. They don't have to be there, but they
No.
show up whether they know me or not. And at the end, they cheer for me. They don't have to, but they do, and I appreciate that more than anything because they don't know me from a can of paint. So like for them to come out, cheer, or come out, and even if they don't cheer for me when I'm out there, after they will because I'm the reason why they're there to see a great fight. And uh, so I'm just appreciative, and I love that if you haven't seen me fight, have seen me fight, you're there. I don't like you're just there. I appreciate that. Just be there.
Well, you sure as hell made a fan out of me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Cub Hawkins fan. It's like because the whole weekend, like I said, I watched your mannerisms. I watched what you did, and because I came up from boxing, and those are the guys like you that stay away, that don't intermingle. Those are the ones you really got to watch out for. Those are the ones that are coming to take your damn head off. They're not there to be, like you said, you're not there to be your buddy. You're there to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I just paid attention to your mannerisms and your walk. Bro, I knew that was going to be one hell of a fight. When I was sitting behind Paulie and Mike, it was just like, damn, here it goes. And then the bell rang, and I was just like, man, he wasn't playing around. And that was one of the fights that I was most impressed with that night. So I'm not surprised you're getting this opportunity for the Police Gazette World Diamond Belt at 185. It didn't shock me. You know, like you said, 3 consecutive knockouts. You bring in the heat. You're not playing games. You're here to take names. And I like that you call Laurent T. Smash Nelson out because you're showing that you're not afraid to face the best either. See,
Not at all.
everybody wants. Go ahead.
And how am I going to get better if I don't fight the best? Like
Yeah.
if I let's just I'm not going to put this. I don't want to put this in existence, but let's say I go out there and fight San Liero, and I lose.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm not where I need to be Obviously, I'm not the best. I haven't been training hard enough if I can't go out there and win. And I wouldn't have known that if I didn't put myself out there and fight them. So I'll fight anybody. I came in weighing at 170 and fought at 205. Like, I'm there to show you I'm here to test everything that I've built up and made in myself. Like, I won't know until I try. And I have to. There's no way that I can just sit there and pick who I want to fight, and I'll fight anybody. And I
So
think I've shown that.
the best way to say it, you're not here to write your name in sand. You're here to put
No,
your name in granite.
exactly.
That's so dope. That's what I love about you, bro. One of your homies, I believe, Brian Matlock, says, Chicago, son.
Brian Matlock, his family, his son Brady. That's one of my best friends from home.
That's dope.
Thanksgiving dinner, that type of family that welcomes me whenever, and all love goes to that family. All love goes to my community, but that family definitely for sure, 100%. So yeah.
That's dope. I appreciate that. You brought up, well, let me get these comments out of the way because I want to bring up about the Midwest because people misunderstand us people in the Midwest. But uh, Chris Shaggy Gonzalez says, I appreciate the work you've put into the bare knuckle, brother. But he also says, can you feel that belt around your waist, Cubb?
I actually, my amateur belt that I won, I sleep with it right now. Actually, it's in my bed right now, and my dad, I fumbled. My dad was super hard on me, and I know one time I fumbled. I don't know if it was probably in practice or a game, and he made me sleep with the ball. He made me walk everywhere with that ball, like, just because I fumbled once, and I was a little kid, and I like everything that I've went through. I've kind of like brought it with me, and I've been sleeping with my belt. It's not the Gazelle belt, but I've been, in my mind, it is like, that's mine. This is what I want to get familiar with it. And that's funny that he said that, because I sleep with my belt, and uh, I just picture everything. I run it through my head. This is how it's gonna go. So I'm gonna bring that belt home.
That's dope. I don't find it strange that you sleep with your belt because that's a constant reminder to conquer your
Exactly.
dreams, to conquer your dreams. See, that's what life is about, man. When I got into this sport, I wanted, it was by accident at first, but then when I actually got into it, I couldn't afford the best camera. I couldn't, afford the best equipment, but I went out there and I did the best I could. I gave it everything that I had, and I did that for 40 years. December 12th was my 40th year in this sport, and I'm a little old, but I sat back and I asked my wife the other day, because I still have my first camera, 35 millimeter days. And I said, did you ever think that with a $400 camera that I would put our family's name into history? That now I'm being inducted into the Boxing National Hall of Fame, one of the second greatest Hall of Fames in the world. Did you ever think that I would do this for our family? And she looked at me and she said, I never had a doubt. I said, man, you gave up your dreams so I can live mine. And I will never let go. My wife will not let me let go of anything that I've ever accrued on my walk in this sport, because last year was really hard on me and I was suffering, with all these surgeries and everything. And I got to take care of my family because I'm a man. So I went to go grab something out of my closet to sell it. And she said, you're not selling your soul. And I said, but I'm your husband. I got to take care of you and my son. She said, put it back. We'll go hungry. And at that moment, I realized every bit of what we create, every bit of what we take, it has to stay with us because we earned it. We put blood, sweat, tears, soul, time from family, missing birthdays. We go through pain that people don't understand to create greatness for other people to apply. People in the sport, they don't understand what happens after fight night. They want to praise you during fight night, but they don't understand the pain you have to go through before and the pain you have to go through after. Whether it be glorious, you're still hurting. You're gonna, in my mind, you're gonna fight for this title. You win the title for the next 2-3 weeks. You still gonna be in pain. They go home, they forget about that. You got to live that. That's one thing I love about your name, man, because you are savage. You're a beast, bro. And it's like, you're one of the, I don't know, handful of fighters that I truly appreciate your walk in the sport. And I see people that are now following and looking at you and talking about you. Man, all I know is just keep being you, because like you said, us people from the Midwest, we're different. I could take people up to the Lou and they'd be scared, bro. They could be from Compton. They could be from, Queens. And I'll take them up to the Lou, man, especially East St. Louis. It ain't friendly. I could go another hour and a half, 2 hours up northwest and be in Chicago. And then you're really going to be scared. How hard was it? How did it formulate you on this path coming from Chicago? Because I know a lot of people from Chicago, and especially like what's his name, Rafael Lovato. His dad raised him in Chicago, one of the greatest jiu-jitsu experts in the world. And his father, I shot a seminar, and he's from Chicago, and he said, "Man, I'm gonna teach you people not this bullcrap jiu-jitsu." He said, "I'm gonna teach you the jiu-jitsu that you need to survive." Because he said, "I'm from Chicago, they don't play." He says, "So I'm gonna teach you how to defend yourself, not just get sweaty on each other." And I died, bro, because I get scared. Man, when I shot for the UFC and I went to Chicago, I got scared, bro. It's like, I'm not going outside after it gets dark, but it built a mentality up in you. And the Midwest, we don't play games. I'm in the softer side of the Midwest. I'm down here in Springfield, Missouri. But hey, don't let it fool you. These hillbillies in the hollers, though, they don't play either, bro. They have pig farms for a reason, just like they do in Madison, Wisconsin. But what would you like to say to the world, Cubb? I mean, this is a tremendous opportunity, a tremendous moment moving forward. What would you first, let me change it up. What would you like to say to your parents for allowing you to take this walk in life? And now you got this opportunity.
I gotta thank them 100 times, because my dad ran the streets of Chicago. He had me, and instead of still doing the things that he was doing, he got me out of there. And my dad has to thank my mom, because honestly, like she told me not too long ago, like, if I wasn't with your dad would probably be dead with the things that he was doing. And so I have to thank my mom, because she helped my dad get on the right path, do the things that made sure he was doing the things that he needed to do to, get me where I'm going. And so it's like, I have to thank them over and over again, to where they, okay, we get it. You said thank you. You know what I'm saying? So, they come first, and because they're the ones that push me so hard, and they don't like that I'm fighting, but they support me. They're rooting for me every step of the way, because this is what I want to do. I'm not doing stuff that I don't need to be doing. I'm pushing myself. I don't have to be doing this, but I am, and they see that, and so they support me 100%. Whether I'm getting beat up or not, and that's what it's all about. So, thank you, Mom and Dad. That's what I would do.
That's dope, bro. I'm gonna play this, that clip one more time, just for the people that just came on, so they could see what's happening in Florida, and then I'll be right back.
BYB Bare Knuckle returns January 18th to the Charles F. Dodge Center in Pembroke Pines, Florida, for Ball in the Pines 2. Featuring 3 world title fights, including the third and final match in the 3-continent trilogy between Marco Martiniak and Jerome Hatch. And the Savage Cub Hawkins gets his first shot at gold when he takes on BKB's Daniel Lerwell for the Police Gazette belt at 185 pounds. And the return of backyard original White Boy Rene Rodriguez, Jordan Fuentes, and more. Visit BYBtickets.com/Pines for tickets and information.
We're back. It may be your first shot at gold, but it's definitely not going to be your last. You know, I was just sitting here listening to that, and me and Mike Goldberg are in a couple Hall of Fames together. What is it? Is it surreal for Cub Hawkins to have Mike Goldberg, Paulie Malignaggi, Claudia Trejos call your fights, bro?
I love it so much because I didn't really start watching the UFC until I was probably like, I don't know. Okay, so I watched some fights when, Chuck Liddell was in there, but I really never really paid attention to it. I was young. Then I got into like high school and I really started paying attention to it. My dad would buy all the fights. And to hear Mike, it is all over. Like I thought that was so cool. He had such a unique voice and I love Mike. And then when I seen that, I didn't even actually realize he was on the BYB promotion until I was there and I showed up for my first fight down in Biloxi, and that's when I was like, "Holy shit! Oh, my bad, Mom! Holy crap!"
Oh, you can cuss,
that's
bro.
him. I know. My mom and grandma are probably watching, but they like that is. It's surreal. I like my friends that they're really big into the UFC and stuff like that. Like, it's surreal for them that Mike Goldberg is calling my fights, and I'm chilling with Mike, and even Paulie. Like, I just appreciate that so much. Everything, everybody, Claudia,
Benny
Yeah.
Ricardo, everybody. I gotta ask you, I've never, because me and Mike worked in the UFC together, but I've never asked a fighter, can you actually hear him say when they ring the bell? Can you hear him say, "And here we go"?
I actually can't. I'm really good. I wish I could. I think that would like hype me up. So maybe we got to get him to like start screaming it. But yeah, I can't really hear him. I wish I did though.
I died when you dropped Blackie Chad, and he goes, "And just like that."
Yeah.
I was dying, bro, because I'm sitting right next to him, and man, it's like that fight was tremendous. But I know January 18th, 3 world title fights, you being one of them. History's going to be created. I feel it in my heart, and Mike and Mel and everybody could get mad at me if they want, but I feel in my heart. I mean, I'm not a fan of many fighters, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I'm a fan of you, Cub. And
Thank you. And you're the first person to tell me that. I sat down with Mike, Paulie. I sat down with all those guys. When I fought my second time, and I think it was Tampa, and I asked all of them. They were asking me questions, and then I was like, you know what? I got one for you guys. I was like, I asked everyone individually, who's your favorite fighter? And then one by one, they told me who their favorite fighter was. And right when last person said whoever, I was like, well, you didn't say me. And when he gets in here, the guy that I was fighting, when he gets in here, I want you guys to apologize to him, because that's the reason why I'm gonna beat him up bad, because you guys didn't say that I was your favorite fighter. And they laughed, but they still have yet to tell me like, Cub, you're my favorite fighter. And till then, I'm gonna keep whooping everybody until I hear from Mike, Paulie, Claudia, one of them tell me that I'm their favorite fighter. but I appreciate you telling me that because that means a lot.
Hey, I'm in more Hall of Fames than all of them combined, bro. So you don't even need them, homie. You don't even need that. And I'm not. Hey, I don't say things like that, and I apologize for sounding. But I mean, the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, in April will be my 8th Hall of Fame induction. By the end of 24, I'll be an 11-time Hall of Famer. You know, and Mike is, I believe, a 3-time Hall of Famer, and I think the other two are in the Hall of Fame once each. But it's a hell of a team, you know.
Yeah.
And I love what Mike Vasquez and Dada 5000 have done with this promotion. I dig that they went out and searched the entire country and the entire world for fighters like you. You are what's building this promotion, young man. Go in there on January 18th and show the world who in the hell Cub Hawkins is. Bro, I already know. I already know. And it's like Paul Driscoll says, Claudia's excellence. Yeah, she ain't until she says a Cub is her favorite fighter. It is. And Chris Shaggy Gonzalez says the first bare knuckle event of 2024, but it's going to be a barn burner, bro. I've got some medical issues, so I don't know if I'm going to be there or not. But my man, go out there and show the world why you're here, what you're made of, and what got you here. I believe in you, homie. I know what you're capable of. I've seen what you're capable of. And keep being who you are. Don't change because that's what's got you here. And it's tremendous. Like my brother Paul said, you know, a lot like Hagler, you are, man. And you gotta be you. You're not here to show the world, you know, come fight night, you're not there to show the world love. You're there to show domination. You're there to take out your opponent, rip his head off. You know, I remember when I had Liam Mcguire and Linton Vassell from Bellator, they were getting ready to fight each other, and they're friends. They said, bruh, we walk into that cage, we put our time card in, we take it out, we beat the crap out of each other, we punch it back out, we go have a beer and a steak together. But what you bring is utter domination, my friend. And Mike can get mad at me, but I'll call it right now. I'll say you're going to be the 185-pound Police Gazette World Diamond Champion on January 18th. And if y'all don't believe me, you're going to believe me on the 18th or the morning of the 19th because Mr. Cub Hawkins is fitting to show the world. Brother, you know, your parents are tremendous. They let you have this opportunity. They gave you opportunities in life, you know, and Herc Hayes and your wrestling coach and Jake Clip and everybody else, even the people you're with now, have truly gave you an opportunity to see your greatness, to create your greatness. What does this next stone, as you lay it down on the path to widen your path, what does it truly mean? Because this isn't just for Cub Hawkins. This is for your mother, your father, the people that believe in you. So what does this truly mean at the end of the day?
With everyone that's behind me, and I'm not saying that I can't fail, but with, you know, God's blessings in Chicago, I don't really see a way that I can lose. And I'm just going to do exactly what you just told me to do. I'm going to keep being me. And if I can be me, go out there, win that title, what is going to stop me? That is to solidify my name to so many things after I win that title. Even just to walk that walk to the ring for that big moment, I'm gonna be proud of myself for making it this far, for doing this, and I'm gonna show up. So thank you, everybody that that's watching right now. Thank you, everybody that's gonna show up in Miami, watch on BN Sports Network, because this is history in the making. This is nothing like this is the biggest part of my whole career. This is everything I've been working for. So thank you guys.
It's all you, baby. It's all you. You know, Paul Driscoll, I love him to death, man. He says, driven tunnel vision, destruct and destroy. Fight the style, not the man. Make it easy for yourself and still,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. And John Grady, I love this guy, man. We have a mutual friend in Randy Commish Gordon who does an excellent show. He's part of Ring Magazine. He does a show on Sirius XM with Jerry Cooney. Tremendous, tremendous man on his walk. So great props to Randy Commish Gordon, because I wouldn't know some of these people if it wasn't for him. I like to pay respect where respect is due. But John Grady says, agreed, Don. I've worked with a lot of athletes, and Mr. Hawkins has the ideal balance of humility, discipline, and sturdy trust in his abilities. He's a champ already. What would you like to say to John Grady on that statement?
Before anything, thank you. To see that in me, I appreciate that, and that fits me to a T. I think. I don't know. I'm just so thankful, and that's what it's all about.
Make us all proud, bro.
Yes,
Make
sir.
us all proud. You know, this is a monumental moment in the history, not just for you, but for BYB. And it's going to be a tremendous night. But make history, my friend. Show the world what I believe in. You know, I believe in you, homie. And all these people on here, a lot of them have known me for a long time. And I don't go out on a limb and say I believe in somebody. But I believe in you, young man, because your character, how you conduct yourself, your walk, your parents did a hell of a job, and you picked up from there with your coaches and you created greatness. Now you found that path. Destroy it, brother. Destroy this path and show the world what greatness is. Like my brother Paul says, everlast. And I think that's the greatest thing to say. My friend, it was a true honor and a pleasure for me to have you on the show tonight. Oh, this is going to be the first of many, because once you're on my show, this is your show. It's not my voice, it's the fighter's voice. And I fell in love with you in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Whether I'm there in Florida or not this time, I don't know yet, but I'm going to be watching. You better damn guarantee that. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to hand the mic to you. If you have any friends, family, social media sites, or sponsors, or is there anything else you'd just like to add to the program? Brother, the floor is yours.
Chicago, Midwest, I'm from Wilmington, Illinois. That's where my hometown is. It's an hour south of Chicago. And, there, we are Wilmington, we are one. That's been our mottos forever. And I appreciate everybody. And tune in January 18th when I make history. That's it.
The first step into history. The first step. Brother, I'm so proud of you. Keep doing you. And we'll keep in touch. And if I don't see you on the 18th, I'll definitely see you on the next opportunity. With that being said,
God bless, man.
You have a good night, and God bless you, my brother.
Thank you.
Peace. You're welcome. Peace. See ya. I tell you what, if you didn't fall in love with Cub Hawkins on tonight's show, then I don't know what to tell you. I want to thank my grandfather, my step-grandfather, Mr. Artie Lamparella. He says, on air with the Warriors. I want to thank John Grady, Paul Driscoll, Brian, everybody that tuned in tonight. Even this young man is going to create history. I mean, y'all know I'm not a big fan of many fighters, but this fighter has truly touched my heart, stole my heart. The kid's a beast. I knew when I saw him the first time, and he stayed away from everybody, even during the ceremonial weigh-ins. He was all the way up in the rafters, all the way in the back, away from everybody. And I said, man, this kid's here to hurt somebody. And my God, did he hurt somebody. And it was tremendous. John Grady says, great interview, Don. What a great young man. I'm a big fan, bro. I'm a big fan. And you know me, we talk on the phone. I'm not a fan of many. But this kid, this is his first step into history. He says create history. I think it's just the beginning. I think Mel, the matchmaker for BYB, and Mike and Dada have got themselves a kid that's going to show the world. And he ain't got to prove nothing else to me anymore. He already has. This kid's a beast. And tune in to BYB January 18th, Pembroke Pines, BYB 23, and watch history be made. 3 world title fights on one card, and the return of Rene White Boy Rodriguez. You've seen him on my show, I think, about a week and a half ago. This card is so big that I had to start interviewing him 3 weeks before the fight, and it's going to be huge. I want to thank you all. Have a good night, and God bless.